Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Gut Academy. I'm your host, Dr. William DePaolo. Today we are going to discuss 5 different ways that probiotics, or 5 different things you should look for in a probiotic to make sure that it's the most efficacious and gives you the greatest chance of having an impact for your health. Now, probiotics are a little bit of a controversial subject because they are not really have not been shown across the board to have an impact on anybody who has a good health. They've been shown to have an impact on people with irritable bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disease. And even in those cases, the probiotic relieves a certain symptom or symptoms rather than can prevent the disease or can cure the disease or anything like that. In healthy individuals, probiotics have been shown to have very limited results. And some people, in fact, have high results and some people don't even respond. And we don't understand why at this point, but there's research out there going and trying to find these reasons, but right now we just don't know. So this video is mostly for those people who just want to go ahead and try to take a probiotic to make themselves feel better and what they should look for in order to try to get the biggest bang for their buck as far as making sure that that probiotic has the best chance of having an impact on their health. So the first thing to look for is a high CFU count. CFU stands for colony forming units. These are how we measure bacteria. And the higher the number, the higher the amount of bacteria. And so you want to search for a probiotic that has over 30 billion CFUs. This is because the more CFUs, the more bacteria, the better the chance at getting in there and fighting off these trillions that are already present in your gut to colonize and establish themselves and to make an impact on your health. So look for a probiotic that has about 30 to 40 billion CFU or more. The second thing you want to look for is that there's a prebiotic packaged in with that probiotic. Now, I always like to use a garden as an analogy, and so if you think of your gut as a garden and a probiotic is like a bush or a flower that you're going to plant in your garden and you hope it takes root. A prebiotic is the food or the fertilizer that you're going to put on that garden. It's going to help everything grow, not just what you planted, but everything that's already there. So a prebiotic and a probiotic together is going to give that probiotic the best chance at giving you an impact on your health and making that probiotic maybe help it to colonize and take root and have an impact on your health. So prebiotics you might want to look for are things like inulin and other sort of fibers or fiber-containing foods or substances that are packaged in with the probiotic. So the third thing that you want to look for is that the strains that are listed on your probiotic are actually studied in a clinic. So clinically studied strains. There are hundreds and hundreds of probiotic strains that are out there, and not all of them have been studied. And so you want to understand that the ones that are in your probiotic have actually been shown to have an impact on whatever it is that you are wanting your probiotic to do. So some probiotics might be better at brain fog and making you feel less cloudy and making your mind more acute. Other probiotics are better at preventing diarrhea or helping to relieve gas or bloating. And so you want to make sure that the probiotics in your probiotic, the bacteria in that probiotic, have been studied and shown to do what you need them to do. So either the label will sometimes say strains proven effective by clinical studies, or it might say refer you to different studies that have been done on those bacteria. And I would recommend looking those studies up and making sure that they are what they say they are, or they do what they say they do. The fourth thing is make sure that there are lots of unique strains. So we've already talked about CFUs, and that's the number of total bacteria. Strains are going to be the individual types of bacteria that are listed in that probiotic. You want to have a lot of different strains because everybody is so different and your gut bacteria is like a fingerprint to you. And so you want to know, so some probiotic strains might not be able to live in your environment. It's a very personalized environment. And so some bacterial strains might say this is too acidic and I'm not going to survive. Others might love it. And so the best way to give yourself the best chance of having a probiotic have an effect is by getting a probiotic that has a lot of different strains in there, unique strains. So it's recommended to have 7 or more unique strains in a probiotic. That way it will hopefully help to boost your health and your well-being. So look for high CFU counts, so high numbers, but also 7 or more types of bacteria in that probiotic. And the last thing that you want to look for is you want to find a probiotic that does not require refrigeration. And that's because probiotics that need refrigeration can be damaged or killed in the shipping of those probiotics to the store. They may also not be able to survive the hot acidic environment of our gut. If they have to be refrigerated, then when they go into your body, which is 98.6 degrees, what are the chances that those bacteria are going to survive? So choosing a bacteria that's shelf stable and that does not need to be stored in a refrigerator is also going to give you maybe a chance of having that probiotic take root, colonize, and have some effect on your health. So those are the 5 things that you should look for when trying to find a probiotic to make sure that they're the most efficacious to you and that they're going to give you some sort of health benefit. Until next time, I'm Dr. William DePaolo. Thank you for joining me. Good night.